Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. Just like if we are driving a car, we have a destination to reach and we are moving in a way towards our destination. It is not that all the times we are driving alone on the roads. There are many other travelers too. And it is not that the way is a straight line. So there are many curves in the ways and many ups and downs. So in this case, neither we stop driving the car thinking, okay, it's too complex, so much of traffic and the way is not a simple route, nor we drive car without any proper control. So we drive car with full control over our steering, accelerator and brake. Similarly, in our life also, we have our short-term goals and long-term goals to achieve. And ultimately, we are searching for satisfaction of mind. The journey to achieve the goal, our destination, is where our mind plays an important role. Like for driving the car, we need to have control over the steering and the brakes and accelerator. Similarly, to reach our destination smoothly, so we need to have control over our mind. So in this video, let us understand the role of mind control in our life and how to achieve it. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 6, that is Dhyana Yoga, that the mind is such a tool, it can liberate us from this material world as well as it can bind us. So that's why Krishna instructs that you lift yourself by this mind rather than going downwards with uncontrolled mind. So it tells Uddharedatmanatmanam Natmanam avasadayet Atmanaiva hi Atmano Bandhur Atmaiva Vipuratmanaha. So here Krishna is saying Uddhared Atmanatmanam. So here the Atma is used for both the soul and also to mean the mind. Krishna is mentioning that Uddhared Atmanatmanam. With the mind you lift yourself. Yourself is Atma. Uddhared Atmanatmanam. Natmanam avashadayet. Don't degrade yourself by this mind. Atmaiva Atmano Bandhur means this mind itself can become a very good friend for yourself in your journey to achieve your destination. Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha, and the same mind, if it is uncontrolled, it becomes the greatest enemy. So that it tells in the consequent words that Bandhur Atmatmanastasya Yenatmaivatmanaha jitaha anatmanastu shatrutve vartet atmaiva shatruvat. Means the one who has not controlled his mind, for him the mind is biggest enemy in his life. And for one who has controlled his mind, that mind is a greatest friend in his life. So mind control is a key to achieve the success and satisfaction in our life. The function of mind is to think, to feel and to will. So it is a storehouse of thoughts, so many thoughts. So many thoughts pass our mind every moment. So this thoughts is nothing but thinking. And we have so many experiences stored in our mind, past experiences of many different things. So that experience is nothing but the feeling aspect. So that is also there in the mind. That is also the function of mind. And finally, we have unfulfilled desires in our mind. We are aspiring for some things to achieve, to get. So this is nothing but the function of willing. That is the door of mind. So like this, the mind is having three key roles, that is to will, to feel, and to think. So now when these three functions go in a negative directions, go in a direction which the scriptures are mentioning it is prohibited, it is wrong, so then the mind goes uncontrolled. And the other reason for the mind going uncontrolled is not proper engagement. So the mind should be engaged in kind of work, in some kind of contributional activity, and the lifestyle should be regulated, like things should be more systematic and planned in one's life. Then the mind is naturally calm and it can focus on work. So this is a secondary aspect of mind control. The primary aspect of the mind control is the spiritual inputs to the mind, because I was explaining that the mind as a function of thinking, feeling, and willing. So if in this life or in the past life it has got some impressions of negative, then that will consume the mind, that will make mind go uncontrolled. So that's why the more we give spiritual inputs, so the mind becomes more calm. So the mind control is all the more necessary in yoga practice, because in yoga practice one is dedicating more of his time in spiritual advancement and is minimizing his activities and the work of materialistic ambitions. That's why Krishna mentions Arjuna that whenever the mind goes away from your control, so you should bring it back then and there itself. So it is yato yato nischalati manas chanchalam astiram tatas tatas niyametat atmanyeva vasham nayet. So here Krishna is saying yato yato nischalati, as and when the mind goes away from your control, yato yato nischalati manas chanchalam astiram, it becomes chanchalam, means it becomes too much wavering, it goes here and there in many thousands of directions. Astiram is not steady at one focus, not focused at your work or your purpose of doing some activity. Then tatas niyametat means by putting rules or by force you have to bring it back. So atmanyeva vasham nayet, so then bring the mind under your control. So this is what Krishna advising Arjuna. So but further Arjuna tells that chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manne vayoriva sudushkaram. So here Arjuna is telling chanchalam hi mana Krishna, my mind is so restless, O Krishna. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavadridam. Pramati means it is mad, it is like mad elephant. You know, the elephant, if it is gone mad, it will uproot all the trees. It will even harm many other creatures or people around. So like that, my mind is very restless. Pramati balavat, it is so obstinate, I cannot bring under control. Pramati balavat dridam, it is so impotent. Tasyaham nigraham manne. Tasyaham nigraham manne means to control it is very difficult. Vayoriva sudushkaram means I can bring the wind under control by my arrow. Vayu I can bring under control, but I cannot control my mind. Vayu reverse dushkaram. So controlling mind is even more difficult than controlling the wind. That's what Arjuna tells. So then Krishna replies to this statement by Arjuna that is true. Asamshayam mahabaho. Asamshayam means there is no doubt about this. In this world, everybody undergoes struggle with the control of their mind. Asamshayam mahabhavo mano durnigraham chalam. Mano durnigraham means it is very difficult to control. It is very unsteady. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagena cha griyate. So then finally it gives the solution. What is the solution? Abhyasena tu kaunteya. By practice. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagena cha griyate. Vairagya means renunciation. Renunciation or detachment from the objects or from things or from places, from the situation where mind goes uncontrolled, where they are acting like a trigger for our mind to lose control. So be away from that. Vairagya means to renounce those things. So that's why Krishna is giving a very practical advice. First he is mentioning abhyasa. Abhyasa means by practice. So mind comes under your control by gradual practice. So that's why it's a consistent practice. And the best practice is every day to do some meditation. And the most practical way of performing meditation in this Kali Yuga is to meditate on the mantra. It is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Because the meaning of the mantra is Man Trayate iti mantra. Man means mind. Trayate means to deliver it from all misgivings, from all troubles, from all anxieties. So that's why when we come in contact with the mantra, so what does it do? It delivers the mind from fear, anxiety, from the negative thoughts. That's why it is called Mantrayate iti mantra. And this mantra is called Mahamantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is being glorified in many places, in many scriptures. In Brihanaradiya Purana, in Bhavishya Purana, in Kalau Santarana Upanishad. So like this, by just chanting this Mahamantra, even for 108 times every day, this will have a positive impact on the mind. So this practice can be done in the early morning, because the early morning is a time the mind is more calm, and at that time if you give spiritual inputs, so then mind absorbs it, and all throughout the day it gives us spiritual energy, and our consciousness is also hooked to the spiritual truths. And the other way of giving spiritual inputs to the mind is chanting the shlokas, like chanting the slokas of Bhagavad Gita or Vishnu Sahasranam or any other prayers regularly, consistently. So even there is a research in modern times that by chanting the Sanskrit shlokas versus the brain capacity increases for memory, and our thinking ability and our creativity also increases. So that's why this chanting the shlokas, the Sanskrit shlokas, is very important. And hearing some spiritual discourses from Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavad Puran, this will also calm the mind, because intelligence becomes more strong, because intelligence actually controls the mind. So the best way to control the mind is to chant the God's name and also to strengthen our intelligence. The intelligence is like a master and the mind is like a servant. So when master is very strong, he can control his servants. So the mind can be controlled when the intelligence is so strong. So intelligence gets wrong when we read scriptures. So these are some practical methods to control the mind. Thank you. Hare Krishna.